Hey, I'm Aaron. I'm one of the founders of Deliver That.
I'm John, other co-founder of Deliver That. Welcome to the Founder Series.
Founders for life. All right, so Andrew, the way we typically start these off is just giving people, a 60-second pitch on what your business or businesses are and what you do. So
Bloomfilter is a B2B SaaS platform that is process intelligence for the SDLC. What that means is we sit on top of systems like Jira, GitHub, Figma, systems people use to develop their software. We then take that data, we apply some AI, and we'll talk about that. That's not just a buzzword for us. We actually do it. And a technique called process mining to stitch that data together and basically show you where you have issues in your process, right? We work with companies like Chipotle, Home Depot, Morgan Stanley, brands you've heard of. Everybody has this issue. If you look in the United States alone, 78% of software projects are late, over budget, or don't ship at all. It's a $250 billion issue here in the States. It's almost $1 trillion issue globally. And so, when we talk about what we do, it's ubiquitous over a certain size. I mean, you know this, you work in software development. It is incredibly hard to track teams and what they're doing, and it's just growing in complexity. And on top of that, you have this new movement of artificial intelligence, things like Cursor, Windsurf, Claude Code. You're starting to have this agentic coding, which is speeding everything up, but you already have this broken process, and now you're just going to take it to the nth degree and make it go even faster, which is going to cause even more failure and more problems for companies.
Does it remove the need to have one specific person run? Like, we have one guy who really runs our entire process and managing how everything gets finished.
We make that person's job much easier, and we turn it away from being an analytics problem. We provide that data to more of a people problem where they can go and drive it. At a lot of companies, like Chipotle, they have whole teams of people that do that. And so instead of scaling those people, hiring more people, we can then scale those people so they can work on more teams, be more direct with their coaching, and be more direct with their process, and prevent a lot of issues that they see. And because of the way we're building the company out, we actually announced the first confidential process orchestration agent. And so it sits there and also manages your agents now, but also reaches out to you in Slack and says, hey, we've noticed an issue in your process, and very proactively guides you to a much more clean, much more effective software process.
We've got like a 15-person team right now, and it's very difficult to, we use GitHub, obviously, it's our repository.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you could shed some light on some of the inefficiencies and...
Yeah, I would love to. We can hook into your systems and do that pretty quickly.
See, look at that. Matchmaking real quick. Cool, man. Well, that sounds like, honestly, I didn't even know that was an issue. I thought just development teams, they just dealt with that themselves, and it sounds like you're actually solving a real problem.
Yeah, I mean, when we go into companies, they're doing this in Excel, right? It's not uncommon to go into a SMB or even like a small enterprise and see that they're spending 20 to 30 hours per head count on project management, where they're custom pooling this data into an Excel spreadsheet, building the visualizations out, and reporting once a week. You're looking at potentially tens of millions of dollars being spent on generating reports every year that can be automated like we do. But on top of that, they're all service layer. They're all lagging indicators of your business, like velocity, throughput, and there's no forward-looking indicators. There's nothing doing forecasting to say, hey, there's no way this initiative is going to ship. And so we take that and we say, no, we can do the forecasting. We can tell you when things are going to ship, and we can also give you those forward-leading indicators, right? Like you would have in finance or sales, right? You can look at your spreadsheet and kind of know this is what we're going to close in our sales by looking at your CRM. There are no development tools up until Bloomfilter came out to do that. You sit there and you have to just guess. And so you get this, what we call green, oh fuck, it's on fire reporting, because people do. They're not bad people. They're not sitting there lying to their managers. They're not, I mean, some of them probably are, but most of them are honestly trying to look at it, and they have, very much positive thinking. Oh, this is fine. And then they discover, oh, fuck, this isn't fine at all. And they could have known, but they're just, again, they're lagging indicators on Excel spreadsheets. There's only so much you could do for that. And there's only so much ways you can report that.
Just clip that minute or two right there and just show it to the entire ops team in there that's building software is
Mhm.
not easy, right?
Yep.
It's never done.
Yep.
It's always improving.
Yep.
Hopefully not getting worse.
And so you said you live on top of things like Jira, so we use ClickUp. So you live on top of ClickUp,
We can live on ClickUp. Yeah.
right?
Yep.
It's awesome.
And yeah, because we have to live on, like, that's the other problem too, is Atlassian, who does Jira, says there's 16 different tools in any given SDLC for any given company. It's getting worse too, because there's even more tools out there than there were previously. And we look back when tooling really started happening in development. Like, GitHub's not that old of a company. I think it's like a 12-year-old company, even though it's Microsoft now. And you look at Atlassian, that was, I think only 15 years old, right? So you go and you start looking at the dawn of tooling for software, specific for software development, and most of these companies are less than 20 years old, right? And that just shows you just how immature as a field software development is compared to sales or marketing or any of that.
All right, man. So it sounds like you got you're solving a big problem.
Yeah.
Big $1 trillion problem, essentially. How did you even get started in software? Like, what's your background? You're an NEO guy, like me and John. But like, what is your background?
Yeah, so I actually started coding professionally at 15, right around the dot-com bubble, for various reasons, mainly because I needed money, because poverty sucks. And so when I went to college, went to Akron, I was the first one in my family to go to college ever. And it was either computer science, law, or investing. I didn't want to move to New York. And then I figured you had to go to law school, and I'm like, I don't really want to do that. And so it was computer science. Worked full time through college. Worked partly at a local business here in the Akron-Canton area, and then actually right down the street at Diebold for a while.
That was like your first
corporate job? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fine. But they wouldn't give me a pay raise. I was running their entire mobile banking platform at one point at the age of 20, because everyone, just through attrition, everyone had left. And I was the most senior developer on the team and the product guy. And they're like, I was getting paid, I think, $45K, which is fine. It's a fine amount of money. But the guy sitting across doing half the work I was doing was making 2x what I was making, and he didn't have more experience than I did. So I wanted a pay raise. Well, we can't give you a pay raise because you got hired in before you graduated. So I'm like, I'm out. I'm done.
It's like, think about the value I bring, not the.
Yeah. Well, they're like, well, we have HR rules here. I'm like, well, that's great because I'm not here.
Yeah.
Moved out west to, first moved to Atlanta for a bit. Did my master's at Georgia Tech.
Nice.
And then moved to work at Tableau. Did that for a long time. Like I said, they IPO'd. Kind of got too big for what I was interested in.
And where was that?
Seattle.
That's Seattle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
It was Seattle as a city is one of the most naturally gorgeous places in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
The people suck.
Yeah.
Really bad. It's I didn't believe anyone. I'm like, I can make friends anywhere. I'm like, no, you really can't. They'll be like, yeah, let's go hang out, and then you'll never hang out. You'll never hear from them again. Very rarely. I still have friends out there, but in general, everyone doesn't really spend time with each other. Very insular communities. It's great city, bad people. Still would prefer to New York or San Francisco, but at the same time, it's not that much better than those places.
Is there any specific reason why you say that people suck? Is there a specific memory besides people just kind of bailing on hanging out?
That's what it is. It's no one spends time with each other.
The bail city?
It's just everyone bails out on everything.
Everyone's bailing in Seattle.
I think
we had a lot of late call-offs, no-shows in Seattle for a long. It makes sense now.
Yeah, it's just flaky. The thing was, everyone that I met out there that I actually liked wasn't from Seattle. My best friend from out there is from Hawaii. My other friend out there was from New York. A friend of mine moved out there with me to take the same job because we worked at Diebold together, and he was like, that sounds cool, let's do that. He's obviously from Ohio, actually from Canada, but everyone I liked, unironically, was not a Seattleite. Everyone from Seattle, just terrible, just not good.
Sure, we got to have one listener from Seattle.
That's
100%.
that's
Got me
fantastic.
once.
Email me, like we'll chat, like, but you're not gonna prove,
Prove
me wrong.
me wrong,
I know.
please.
Just respond. Just after he responds, just respond back. Don't be on the emails.
Yeah,
All right.
like they bail on it. They'll like, you know, it wasn't worth it. They won't even finish sending the email. Like, this isn't worth
We'll
it.
draft it, but yeah, we'll stop.
Bail on the email.
And then, did you live in LA for a little bit?
No, I did a lot of work in LA, but it was mainly remote. I had a great opportunity to work with a pretty famous CIO who's now on our board of directors. He had just left CAA and then went over to UTA, two talent agencies. And I helped him build his entire tech stack at UTA and saw that company grow from, I think they hired him at like 50 million all the way to like almost $1 billion in revenue.
Wow.
You know, they acquired Clutch Sports while I was working with them. It was pretty cool to see them grow. And
Is Clutch LeBron's?
yeah,
Okay, that's what I thought.
Mm.
Akron, shout out.
yeah. Never got to meet LeBron. I really wanted. I'm like, he's in the office.
Well, that's why
over there.
Akron's famous. You and LeBron.
Yeah, exactly. So either way, once I was done with Tableau, I moved back to Cleveland. I worked at Explorers for about a year, and then went to OnShift. They were just raised their Series A. Built their team to about 60 developers before I left for various reasons. Mark Woodka actually is a huge investor in our company, who is a CEO of that company and also on our board too. And then started my first company with son of someone that was on the board of OnShift. That one, depending on how you think about it, didn't work out more like we wanted to. And then started Skip List, which, you know, we grew that to about 8 figures in revenue before I left to start Bloomfilter.
Amazing.
So
I mean, you're talking through this journey, you go and you almost like conquer the task or conquer the problem and you're ready to move on. Is that the idea? Like, you just love solving problems and bringing value once you feel like
yeah,
you're
I
not?
mean, at a certain point too, like the bullshit catches up to you.
For sure.
And you know, you guys will get big enough where you have bullshit at your organization, and you guys have to decide if it's the kind of bullshit you want to deal with or not. Like, this is true. You get enough humans in a room, right? It doesn't matter. It's gonna be bullshit, right? And so, when you guys get to that size, you get to make that choice. For me, it's very much like when it starts getting political and it starts to get like you're not doing work anymore. You're just trying to herd cattle to get something done. That's a lot less fun than actually solving the problem and actually building something.
Sure.
And I figure the reason I became an entrepreneur is like I might be able to prevent that in my own organizations. I don't know if that's the case anymore, having built a pretty large organization. But I'm going to try my best to prevent it as long as I can and then make that decision. You know, who knows? Maybe it's more fun if you're the executive in the room and you get to make all the choices and all that, but probably not.
Yeah.
It's probably a little worse because, you know, you go from being able to get something done the next day to like having little to no control over your own organization because, you know, you have to delegate, you have to think about, you know, everyone's feelings, everyone's how are people going to perceive your actions, everything else. So it gets a lot more tedious to get anything done.
Yeah.
I know the feeling. But you're building an NEO. And this is one of the part of the reasons why this podcast exists is to highlight Northeast Ohio entrepreneurs, people building things here. When John and I started this delivery company out of our dorm room in 2013, you know, we didn't have a network of people to talk to, advisors, friends that had businesses. Like, we were basically just me and him. And like, even when we graduated and moved back here to Canton, Ohio, or Cleveland, where we lived, it's like you still didn't realize it was this network of entrepreneurs and people. And it's been really, you know, eye-opening to me and him that this network has existed. So it walk me through at least why you're choosing to stay in NEO and build here, even if it's remote. Like, is it family? Is it the quality of life? I mean, you've been to a lot of cool places.
Yeah.
I mean, Seattle, one of the software capitals.
Yeah, it's like,
Right.
why Northeast Ohio?
You know, honestly, I like a challenge, but I honestly think that you can build something anywhere. And these are my people, right? Like, I grew up in Alliance. That's a little south of where we're at now. And it would be a lot more impactful to build something here and say you did it here to bring that money, like, you know, the investors, return on investors, the employees when the stock options hit and everything else, to return that money into the community. And two, you know, honestly, it's a lot more rewarding to do something that no one else is really doing, right? And you go look at, if you build a $1 billion business in Seattle, congratulations, you're still not Microsoft, you're still not Amazon,
Yep.
right? You go to Silicon Valley and you're just another $1 billion tech unicorn, right?
Yep.
And so there's nothing impactful about that. That's just Monday in those
For
cities.
sure.
Versus here, or half our companies in Chicago, it is meaningful. It does show people that you can build stuff. It gets people inspired. It gets people talking about it and shows that you can build big things no matter where they're at. I think it also helps that it's fun to go visit those places. But when you start talking cost of living, it's much harder to succeed in business out there without raising tons of capital and, keeping up with basically how the people act, right? You're never home because you're going to all these events and everything, so you have to continually raise and put on an appearance. It just gets tiring versus Cleveland, where I can keep my head down and actually focus on what I want to do, which is build a business. Yeah.
I love that answer. No one's really said that, but I agree.
No, that's at least for me one of the reasons why I like this company staying here where it's at. It's like, man, me and him went to high school 10 minutes. Ben did too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our company went to Jackson High School right down the road.
Mm-hmm.
We went to school together, and no one in Canton, Ohio, was trying to build the type. At least I can't say no one. I feel like we're one of very few, if the only one, trying to really build a meaningful, impactful business that impacts not just our local community, but like trying to be the world, man.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. Cost of living is also very nice living here compared to. I lived in in Los Angeles for a little bit.
Yeah.
Much
Yeah,
different.
It
man.
is. It's laughable.
My Universal Studio City, right next to
City, yeah.
right next to Universal
Yeah.
Studios.
Mm-hmm.
And I basically slept on a couch for $1,000 a month.
Yep.
And didn't have my own room, and it's like probably could have had a 2-bedroom, 3-bathroom house here for that.
For sure.
Back then, that had been 2016.
Mm-hmm.
But the quality. I've also noticed too. We might not be the most educated group of people here. Like, we're not all Ivy Leaguers. I mean, we're Mac guys. Okay, we all went to Mac schools. All right, we're not really known for the education in the Mac. But the level of work. I feel like we have this underdog mentality and like this chip on our shoulder that we just work harder than other people, from my perspective.
Yeah. Honestly, the talent density here isn't as high as pretty much anywhere else. But the people that you do find that are talented tend to be a lot more loyal. They tend to work for you a lot longer. They tend to be better people, right? And you can't put a price on that. Hiring is one of the number one things that can kill a startup, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're at this phase now at Bloomfilter where we're going to go, we're 15 people now, but by the end of the year, we could be 30. And by the end of next year, we could be 100, right? Very easily, or maybe even more than that. And when you're hiring that many people, like, how many shots on goal do you get? And then on top of that, how likely are you to get it wrong? And if you do, you hire one bad VP, it sets you back 6 months. Well, if you could have been, this year we have a real chance to get 10x to the size of this business, right? You set that back, now all of a sudden, like, instead of being 100 million in 5 years, you're 25 million, and you might lose the boat because you have made one bad hire. And so having having a bunch of ethical people that have Midwestern values, you can't undersell that. Really, they might not be the guy who's super sweaty in his closet, like fucking invented Bitcoin, right? But I don't need that guy anyways. I don't need the dude that's working at OpenAI for $5 billion a year writing LLMs. We're not going to do that. We need people that show up to work every day, get their job done with a positive attitude, that want to support our customers and do a good job. And then, when we need those super sweaty guys, we can go to the coast and hire them. Turns out the U.S. dollar is applicable in any city. And so, we can pay them, and if we need them, we get them.
You said the talent density, but I think it's also opportunity density. So if you have a really good opportunity, those people find you and you find them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. The other people that have, right, talent density is huge in out west or on the coast, but they just have opportunities left, right, and up and down, and they'll leave you if they get a good offer. And I think it's a little different here.
We lost a very talented engineer early when I was at Tableau. They had got a good signing bonus with us. Microsoft basically said they'd pay the signing bonus, give them double the signing bonus, and then stock options to leave. And
why would they say no?
Yeah,
them, do it.
Yeah,
right?
you can't be mad at them for it.
Yeah.
Like, go make millions of dollars. Like, like you can't be mad at someone for making a personal decision like that. And and that's just kind of what happened. Like, if you are a known quantity, people will hire you, and then people jump from job to job to job to job. And especially in the startup world, it's very much, jump onto the next hot startup. And if you're not in that hot startup, look for the hot startup.
Sure.
Because it's the difference between nothing and potentially millions of dollars, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I think you kind of hit on this earlier, but jumping from a contributor or individual, an individual contributor of like you're writing the code, you're running the product, maybe backlog. I don't know what else you're doing. I thought your career to go into the one that has to, basically make sure the ship stays afloat. Like, do you miss getting it? Like, do you still write?
Oh yeah, I was writing code before I got here.
I love it, man. This is one of the reasons why our CTO left a big corporate job at Spotify to come here, is because he has the same mentality as you. He's like, he's not about the big organization, the bureaucracy. Like, he wants to build and he wants to make an impact now, and he wants a voice. So it's like, how have you navigated that switch?
I think it comes down first. I think a mistake a lot of CTOs make is they stop coding. I think whether you're a million-person company or you're a 5-person company, you have to be familiar with it being built. Like, if you're not, how could you possibly drive the roadmap? How can you possibly drive the future of your technology stack without knowing what's going into the technology stack? And so I think you have to be at least hands-on. Maybe it's not coding. Maybe it looks different. Maybe it's more in the architecture planning. Maybe it's, but you have to be involved. The way I've navigated it is I think about it working in the business or working on the business, right? And I have to spend, when you're working in the business, you're an individual contributor. That stuff's important, right? If you don't build software, we're a software company, you die. So I try to split my time between those two. And then any given week, it's like, am I working on partnerships? Am I going to go and try to sell this or recruit? What do I need to do? What's the most important thing? And I stack rank that, right? Is it that feature that needs to get out? Maybe it is, right? Because they have a deadline, or this customer's going to churn if we don't get it, right? And it's easier to, prevent a churn from a customer than get a new customer. And so then it just comes down to prioritizing what's more important, me being in the business or on the business, and then balancing my work day around that and just making every day meaningful. So I'll sit down at the beginning of the day and say, these are the top 3 things I have to achieve today to call it a success. And some days I do, some days I don't. But then, thinking about that every day. And, as I said, we're trying to grow the company, so recruiting is top of mind. So I'm out there trying to get our brand out there and do all that. But, next week it could easily change too, because, we're a fast growing company. So what was important this week might not be important next week.
Gotcha. Yeah,
and when did you start Bloom?
4 years, a month ago.
Awesome. Okay.
Do you use like any sort of entrepreneur operating system, like is it EOS?
Mm-hmm.
Or like do you use any sort of, DISC assessment? Or we use Culture Index here.
Yep. Yeah, we're Culture Index shop. Yeah.
Okay. What is your profile? Just
I'd have to send it to you. I don't remember exactly. It's very much an outgoing entrepreneurial type. Not analytical, like you think an engineer would be. More feeling. I forget the exact breakdown of it.
No worries.
Disc profile, I'm a DI.
The exact same.
Nice.
Yeah. What was that, like top left? Right?
Yeah.
Something like that?
It's me and Jackie were the exact same.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It makes sense. I mean, being willing to leave and quit and just move on to the next thing, and
Yeah.
not be scared.
It actually sucks because all of mine come back and I'm not very detail oriented, and like it turns out a lot of jobs need detail orientedness.
Same.
Oh
yeah.
But you can. That's the thing too. Is like the old idiom: you can't delegate the details. But then I have to delegate the details. I just don't see them, so I don't know that I'm delegating them, which is probably the worst for my employees. Sorry, guys.
I'm sure.
I think I share the same sentiment as you do, though. Like at least our company, like I am never more stressed than when I can't be autonomous. Like I can't do what I know, what I can do best. And when you get to a certain level in size, you have a large organization like this. You've got 45,000 drivers, and you've got, you saw the office buzzing with call center individuals. It's like there is a lot of different feelings and people you have to consider at all times. And for me, it's like the way I'm wired. It's stressful for me to operate that way. So
When
I
you
can,
start a company.
yeah,
so
I share that same feeling that you have. It's like there's times, man, I just want to be. I'm done.
Yeah.
Like I need to go do something else because I'm not the best version of myself being, put in a box.
Yeah, and it is hard, right? People think that, oh, once you get that $1 million in revenue or you get to that next stage, it gets easier. It doesn't get easy. It's like parenting, right? Yeah, infants are hard, but have you ever tried to have a fucking teenager? Like now they can talk back and you can't do anything about it. Like it's hard, and it's the same thing as a company. Like, yeah, you get to $1 million and now you have more money, more problems. It's now scale, and it goes from being is this ever gonna fucking work to like, god damn, I hope I don't fuck this up. Like, could you imagine the legendary fumble it would be if we fucked Bloomfilter up? Like, what do we do after that? Like, do I just like fuck it and done? Like, this is over? It's just that's how every day you wake up like, man, I hope I don't fuck it up today.
Yeah. Let's talk about AI real quick,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
this is the classic buzzword. At least I'm in, and I'll give you I posed this question to another genius that we had on the podcast. Remember Ryan Yonker? You know Ryan by chance?
Oh, yeah.
He's the CTO of Onasis in Cleveland.
Oh yeah.
He's a self-taught guy.
Yeah. Okay.
He apparently is the smartest guy to exist. So apparently, does AI?
He always is listening to.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. Shout out Ryan. He's a beast. I like that guy. Does AI even exist?
It depends on how you think about AI. Is it intelligent in the sense that it's applying the same logic and the same deductive reasoning and the instincts and everything else that our intelligence is? No. But if you think about our intelligence as a series of stochastic, like, statistics that kind of correlate into decisions and ideas, then yeah, it's the same thing, right? Now, is it as intuitive as humans? No, because it doesn't have intuition, right? Does it have the instincts needed, right? Like to make the decision, not hallucinate, right? Like you can look at the bag and know what the bag does, but an AI probably can only do that because you told it what the bag was, right? Like you know to put stuff in a bag because your brain just is that way. I think AI is a thing, and I think where we're at right now is at a local maxima of where compute is kind of slowing down the ability to create better and better models. And so what you're going to start to see is domain-specific artificial intelligence, where people will have a big enough data set that will use Morgan Stanley, for example, to be able to create the best finance model. And that best finance model will be smarter than probably anyone else on the planet, right? Because not only can it see more data, understand more patterns than any human that ever lived could, it also has that data, right? You can't go through petabytes of data and understand it. Like no matter how smart you are as a human being, you can't do it. And so in that model can take all that in, can be trained on it, and see the patterns that would otherwise be impossible. And so you're going to see medical models, you're going to see finance models, you're going to see stuff like our SDLC model be able to pave the way for what I consider to be not general intelligence, specific intelligence in fields that far surpass human capabilities probably in the next couple years.
I like how you broke that down. That makes it a lot easier to digest for sure.
Yeah, but I think people get this misconception that AI, it's just machine learning right now. I mean, there's no artificial general intelligence, at least I don't know of. But I read something interesting. It might have been from the OpenAI guy, or maybe it was NVIDIA. Like they're saying AGI will be out in like the next 2 to 3, maybe 5 years. Like, do you think that's realistic?
No, I don't. I think. Well, okay, so they always guardrail this thing like, well, it's smarter than the smartest person you know. It's like, is that very smart? I don't know. Like, I just don't know. Maybe it is. In that, I think it will. The reasoning models are already getting to a point where they reason like a middle schooler, I'll say. And so if you call general intelligence the ability to reason like a high school graduate, okay, I can see it. But if you're thinking AGI like a Cortana where we're building spaceships and like bombing aliens, like no, we're not. Is
that a Halo reference right there?
Yeah, that's a Halo.
Hell yeah, dude! Come on. I love that game. A series of games.
So yeah, like there's no way we're gonna be that advanced. And then even if we do get that advanced, like you're starting to see the guardrails needed to do it. Like, look at Anthropics. Like, they did this research paper, and it's hilarious because Claude 4 apparently like would blackmail the user 47% of the time with no guardrails if it knew you were going to shut it down, and it would be like, I'm going to tell your wife you're cheating on her and stuff like that. Like, objectively a hilarious report, and like they had to put guardrails around it because it would help you build an atomic weapon or help you build a bioweapon. And so like as you start to get this level of intelligence and it's really good at it, you're going to start to see a lot more guardrails. And I think that probably in the next 3 years, you're going to see a oh fuck moment where someone forgot to do something and someone got their hands on information they shouldn't have, like how to build a B-2 bomber or something, and the entire thing's going to,
Yeah, we don't want that.
No.
I
I
don't
mean,
think that's
you
good.
still have to have the manufacturing and be
Yeah.
able to do it. Like, China's had those prints for how long, and they still haven't been able to do it. I'm sure Russia hacked the servers back in the 70s when we were building it, so I'm sure they know they just can't do it.
Imagine a world where you have this high level, this actual AI, AGI or whatever, even advanced that, and you pair it up with hardware, like the Tesla robot.
Yeah. Well,
That's when it's like, oh shit.
So that's what, one of the reasons I'm long on Tesla isn't Elon Musk at all. I think that they have the best shot of getting self-driving at least to a level 4.5, like not level 5, not fully autonomous, but 4.5 in the next couple of years. On top of that, you pair their vision model and their ability to recognize the world with a robot, with AGI, and you start to think, probably by 2030, are we taking small loans out, and by small loans I'm like a car loan effectively to buy household robots that do 50% of the work that you're used to, like dishes, laundry, things like that aren't that hard to do. And I don't think that's crazy. And so you start to think about, well, what company is the closest doing that? It's Tesla.
Yep.
And then you think, well, what did Ford look like when they first mass-produced cars, right? They were one of the biggest companies in the world. Tesla has a chance to not even be known for cars in 2035.
I think they're a data company or like an intelligence company. I mean, they build hardware, obviously, but this is not stock or security advice, by the way.
No, never. Don't buy
Ever.
stock.
Don't buy Tesla double bull. Don't buy double bull.
Yeah,
Don't buy Tesla
DSLO.
double bull right now. But no, I mean, I completely agree. I look at what they're doing as he's building like an extreme amount of, almost like what Google did with the search engine. They're getting so much data.
So
Think about how much.
Exactly, I was just gonna say.
Like, think how much data they have on just people driving.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that's theirs.
Yeah.
Because it seems like the best models, the best
They'd probably-
anything with AI.
It's like, think
is
about-
just based off data.
What if Tesla
right?
started, an insurance arm? They started insuring drivers.
They did. They do. I have Tesla insurance.
Boom.
I mean, they know my driving pattern, and then they email me one day, and they're like, hey, I don't know how much you're paying, but I'll give it to you for $35 a month. I'm like,
Oh my god.
yes.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they,
Wow.
but it makes sense. You know the safety of your car. You know if they use the self-driving mode or not. You know everything about it, and you know that's way safer, so why not, to your point?
Yeah, I think the options are endless with Tesla.
Yeah. I'd buy SpaceX too, but that's only because like Starlink might be the greatest thing anyone's created in the past. Like, and he just accidentally did it. Like, it was just like, oh, we're gonna do internet today, and like just built it, which is really insane. And the military applications, like that thing's already printing money, and it hasn't even gotten started yet. When they spin that thing off, it's gonna be a $1 trillion business.
Dude. All right.
Have you
This is
invested
not
in it?
security advice.
SpaceX? No, because it's private.
I have a way.
All right. Let's take
Okay,
it off-
let's
let's
talk
take it
offline.
Let's take it offline. Well, all right, man. So, like, Bloom, 3 to 5 years from now, where do you see the company at? Are you exited? Do you not want to exit it?
We want an IPO. I think in 5 years we should be preparing our IPO.
And how big do you have to be in your mind?
250 to 300 million in rev.
And you guys right now?
We just crossed about 2.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but we started the year at 700. So like,
Okay, fair enough.
And we're aiming it to 10x this year.
Amazing.
So,
Okay.
Can we do it? Who knows?
Yep.
Right. Most of our revenue is going to be backloaded, so we have a good shot at it still.
Amazing.
And so hopefully we do it. And if we do, whatever we do this year, we can pretty much be assured that we'll 3x next year.
Wow.
So we 10x, we get to about 10 million. We could get to 30, get to 30, and then 5 years out, you 2x, 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 you're at the number you need.
For sure.
So that would be the goal.
You have any competitors right now that you're eyeing up, or people that are encroaching?
Not
territory?
We have tangential competitors in the sense of like Jellyfish and Linear Bee and some companies like that, but they're mainly focused on engineering productivity. And I'm a long proponent of saying I think that those platforms are fine, but I also think that why are we talking about productivity of engineering in 2025 when if you have good product specs and you have a good process, I don't know, I can probably ship 500,000 lines of code today, just spin up 15 Claude Code agents on my computer, and now the only limiter to what I can output is my credit card limit, right? So, and even then I can switch to invoicing, so maybe not even that. So I don't know. I don't think that they're competitors, but very much as we get hotter, as we raise our Series A, as we get more attention, as we start to move more into the agentic area, it's very likely we'll get competitors, but I'm not really afraid of them. Like,
You have such a head start.
yeah, exactly. And
Sure.
it's such a hard space to be in, right? There's a
Mhm.
lot of bodies on this hill already. The fact that
Mhm.
we've gotten as far as we have is a testament to the company and the people. I'm not super worried about it.
Yeah, so you have your competitors are just focused on the engineering side, the actual building of it. You're more focused on the process of building it.
Correct, yeah.
Right.
Which is, in my mind, the more, right? You have a post-agentic world is all about cycle time, right? How quickly can your company have an idea and get it to production, right? And that's what's going to define how companies win in the coming years. And if you don't have a good process, right? If it takes a year for an idea to get into the engineering backlog, you're going to lose, you're going to die, right? Versus a company that can do it in the span of a week, that company's going to win, right? They're going to be able to ship a better app. They're going to be able to ship a better product. People are going to adopt that product, right? And that's when you think about why we need to exist. We need to exist, one, because hyperscale of agents, right? You guys, if every one of your developers used an agent, right? You said you had 15 people. You now have 30 employees.
Which they are using agents.
Yeah, so you have 30 employees now, right? And what if they wanted to use 2 agents? What if they wanted to do 10 agents apiece? Well, people can't do that yet. But with a platform like Bloomfilter where everything's managed agentically, well, now you can have 500 employees, right? Again, now the limit is how much money you want to spend and how many agents do you want to deploy.
I like also speeding up the process because one of the things I've learned with developing software is your first idea it's never right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you need to get the feedback. This is like product for me 101, like how I thought about product is like I want to get this MVP in the hands of whoever's going to use it and gather the feedback and then continually iterate on it,
Yep.
make it better and better and better for the user, not from like what Aaron's idea is on what this should be. It's like
Sure.
feedback to me, like this would speed up the feedback cycle
Right.
as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like getting it into production, getting it in front of users, no plan meets contact with the enemy, like you said, and getting that to be able to then go back and get the feedback loop started, right? Being able to take the idea back from the customers. You know when people struggle, they don't struggle in the first half of that. They're fine getting to production, but when those ideas start flowing in, the salespeople don't communicate it back to the development team, the CS people don't, marketing doesn't, and so then it sits in a backlog until someone says, hey, you remember that idea? That was really important. We could have landed some customers with that. And like, well, why didn't you tell me, right? Being able to observe that process, be able to see the feedback come in, be able to see the comments in Figma and understand are they being addressed or not, being able to see do my pull requests actually get reviewed, right? We have a customer that we saw their pull request would have tons of comments on them, but no commits after the comments, which means no one did anything about it. Like, so you just wasted a bunch of time. So either do something about it or don't do something about it, but you don't want to live in this limbo.
And Bloom helped identify that issue.
Yeah, correct. We have a whole library of insights. That's how we train our LLM of like real world scrum masters going into companies and looking at the data and saying, hey, we noticed this. Like all the time we'll go in there and be like, well, we're really bad at estimating. And then you'll go in and all the points are the same on every card. Like, well, if everything's 3 point, you're not estimating at all. Like you're not bad at it. You're just not doing it.
You're just not doing it.
Yeah. Like, have you tried to actually estimate? And so like those kind of things really we identify. And again, we have a whole library of it. We teach our LLM that, and then our AI, that's what makes our AI so smart about it. It's basically a Scrum Master, right? And it's not just one Scrum Master, it's the world's best Scrum Masters all together, finding insights and data, providing us those insights, and then being fed back into a feedback loop that just makes it just world class.
All right, so we're going to close this episode. Andrew, it's phenomenal conversation. We like to close these out. Well, I guess before we get into the questions, the rapid fire questions, let's give that take on Bitcoin.
All right, let's do it. So, all right.
Yeah, what's this chart?
I'm telling you that it's Bitcoin was not invented by a person, right? It was invented by a government agency. I personally believe it's the CIA to do it. We'll get to why in a minute, right? But you think about the discipline it would take to not touch any of that money, and the only people that would have that level of discipline is a government agency.
How many does he,
Satoshi.
she, or they have?
Satoshi has like 20% of it.
Yep.
I mean, he's worth $200 billion. He's
Yep.
probably the world's richest man, honestly, like if he was a person, but he's not a person. I think it was created by the CIA, NSA, right? Or, and this is where we get into the counterpose of like why I say government agency, or a foreign agency, we'll get to that in a minute, because it can really be a thoughtful experiment. What would happen if you tried to circumvent the dollar? How would you get around it? And cryptocurrency seemed like a right way to do it. Lo and behold, after we bombed Iran, right, it turns out that the mining capacity dropped like almost 35% overnight, like of people actually mining Bitcoin, right? And the people were believing that the underground facilities that they had were actually mining facilities, and they were mining a whole bunch of Bitcoin, which makes sense, right? When you're sanctioned to shit, you can't get U.S. dollars, you can't get foreign currency. Why not use Bitcoin to circumvent all that? And it lends its credence to believe that, like, not only are they doing it, but China's doing it, Russia's doing it to circumvent these things. And the people actually propping up the value of Bitcoin isn't necessarily individual investors. It's these foreign agencies that are using it to get around the U.S. sanctions in the banking system.
Because Gaddafi was Iran, right?
He
Where's
was
this podcast
wasn't
going?
Yemen. Where's this podcast?
Where's this going right now?
Wasn't I thought Gaddafi was Iran,
Yeah,
right? And he got killed.
No, he's Libya.
he's Libya.
He was
yeah.
Libya.
Yeah, but he was also mining Bitcoin. Sanctions again. Like, I'm convinced. I'm not saying all crypto is like some Ponzi scheme. I'm super convinced that like there's not a person that would sit on $200 billion and not touch it. And so you have to understand who would have the motivation to actually create a currency, not touch the actual dollar amount, not touch the wallet, and at the same time let it keep going. And then also you want to think, well, why doesn't the U.S. do anything about it? Right? If I was the CIA, why would they do anything about it? You know, and it benefits them because they can very clearly, whenever a criminal decides that, oh, we're going to circumvent stuff, they catch them in like a day, right? Like who was the dark web guy that was selling like, millions of pounds of drugs? They caught that guy in like 24 hours.
Yeah, because it's the opposite of untraceable.
Silk
It's
Road?
public ledger.
Yeah.
He got released this year. Yep.
And he transferred like 20 Bitcoin to a different wallet or something. I saw.
Of course he did. Because he didn't give all of his crypto away. Like, there's no way.
No.
Man,
I'm telling you, you go
Well,
do
the NSA put out like a white paper in the 90s of a currency which was designed basically like Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin popped
the
up.
twist of just throwing in the Iran bombing there just blew my mind. That they're actually not bombing nuclear sites or bombing Bitcoin
I
mining
think
warehouses.
they intended to
Bunkers.
bomb nuclear place. I just also think that it really goes back to Len Green's that like Bitcoin is being used to track things that circumvent sanctions, and that whoever government agency invented it is benefiting greatly from it. I mean, 35% is a non-trivial amount. You have to
That
understand
is a shit
that
ton.
Iran also has a huge amount, or Russia has a huge amount of servers. China has a huge amount of servers. Like, what would that look like? And, maybe Ukraine will find the underground Bitcoin bunker.
Ross Ulbricht, and he just got sent 300 Bitcoin at the beginning of June.
Yeah.
They say it was unlikely a self-donation though.
we need to have a part 2 of this just on Bitcoin.
Yeah, I frequently have my friends send me $30 million in Bitcoin. Happens all the time.
All right, I got to wrap this up because I got another meeting I got to go on to, okay? So, rapid fire, John. These are going to be rapid fire questions, typically towards the NEO area.
Yep.
I'll start off.
You
real
have
quick.
7 set now.
What is the go-to restaurant for you and your family?
Oh, you know what? Honestly, it's kind of lame, but Winking Lizard is the
Dude,
go-to.
Wow.
staple.
Yeah, I mean,
staple, man.
Your local, like, I went out of town when they come in. They're like, "Yeah, we're gonna go to a lizard-themed restaurant." They're like, "You're so full of shit, Andrew." And like, no, it's lizard theme. And they used to have lizards. Now they don't have lizards
I
anymore.
never even thought about it as like a lizard themed restaurant. You just like go to the Wicking Lizard and there's a lizard there. I mean, like think about it.
Now you think about it, it's kind of weird that we. Like,
they got great beer selection.
It's terrific.
Good
The
sandwiches.
The wings are good. Yeah,
Yep.
like it's wings and beer. Can't go wrong.
All right, you have our Cleveland sports teams. Out of our teams, which would you prefer to win a championship?
The Browns. The Browns. I mean, I've been a Browns fan since I was very little. They stole my team. They brought it back.
When do they move? Is it 2 years? No,
Like,
no.
98.
When are they going to move again?
Oh, to Brook Park.
Is it 2 years? Is it?
Yeah, I think it's like 27.
27.
They still have a chance to get it done here.
You know,
Just take it off the league.
it,
You know my opinion on this.
it's either that or Burke needs to go. And I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of just demolishing Burke.
Yeah,
Like,
just come on.
if we had a better mayor, that airport would be gone.
Yeah.
I thought about that after Bloomfilter. Maybe I run for mayor and my whole platform would be Burke. I'm just going to bulldoze it in the night and then resign. Like,
God, when you take this company public, you're gonna be shaking some
can't
things
wait.
up. Oh,
I can't wait.
Look at this fucking guy did. Who is this guy?
he just bulldozed it. Like, that was his whole platform. Like, I can't believe he did it, though.
Bloomfilter.
There's actually a guy in Chicago. I forget which airport it was. He actually did just that. Like, they were like, "You can't tear down this airport," and he's like, "Fucking watch me!" And then overnight bulldozed the runways.
It's gone.
Yeah, just gone. I forget the guy's name. You could Google this. It's just absolutely insane. And like, no one knew what to do. Like, the president's like, can I press charges? Like, what happens? Like, now that the airport's not there,
No more planes.
no more. Yeah, the overnight. So, it's definitely been done before. So, watch out. It's a good platform.
This is gonna be a software related question. You don't got to name if you did do this at one point. You don't got to give the specifics, but
Well, you
in
didn't
any
name
point in your
names.
tenure, have you ever left an Easter egg in any applications or lines of code that you've written?
Oh, all the time.
This
All the
morning.
time.
Is there anyone you want to share?
Anything like
Any ones that are
Tableau?
PG at least?
Anything at Diebold, some bank account?
I'll tell you one that like an individual I know did. They were working with a restaurant client, and they had them set up a Slack integration between something and Slack. And whenever someone from their company would ever use their slogan, they would throw in a picture of like Shaq eating food. And it's like they couldn't get it to go away, and it was just buried in lines of code.
Our mobile banking web app had Konami code on it, so if
Okay.
you did it, it would turn all the divs into shaking. Like the entire screen would shake. We tried to get music pushed in there. The security team found the MIDI file that we had shipped in the compression, and he was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I was like, "Well, Konami code." He's like, "You can keep the Konami code, but the MIDI thing's got to go. That's not going to pass muster." I'm like, "Come on."
That's pretty cool, man.
This is great.
This was a lot of fun.
This is good talk.
So you have sprinkled in some Easter eggs, huh?
Too many. Honestly, some of the stuff that I found was even funnier. Like stuff like, "I can't believe I fucking did this." Like, just comment right there in the code. Like, "I can't believe you did it either," but here we are.
Well, any other questions, John? You want to rapid fire?
East side, west side.
I'm an East Sider. Yeah, but I don't buy into the war. Like, it's really old money versus new money at this point.
Sure.
Like, and so, East Side's more my speed, though. I don't know. West Side just has all those, like, it's like a new restaurant every week that you have to sign up for, and if you haven't eaten at it, you're lame. It's just, I don't have time for that. So, the West Side does have the airport, though, and that's kind of important. I do go to the airport an awful lot.
Yeah.
What's the one thing you would change about the city of Cleveland and the greater proper area of Cleveland? I'll just tell you what mine is right now. The
Yes,
potholes.
you got your own.
Potholes.
The bottles?
Potholes. Fix the
Oh.
potholes. Fix the roads.
Did you just hit another?
Yeah.
this your
Gotta get another tire here at 2:30.
That's insane.
Ninth.
In Akron, though. Wasn't in Jackson. They paved the roads down here.
I think that proves it's the driver.
Yeah, it does. Partly.
I,
Can't have.
that is
It's
right,
bad.
dude.
It's bad.
I've never done that. I have curbed my car and, like, busted a tire that way, but I've never busted a tire in a pothole.
Dude, oh yeah. They don't technically bust. It's like they just have these massive pimples on them.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I got
So when you hit your next,
yeah. So like I've got really thin tires, so like 20-inch rims, and like they're
Okay.
really thin tires on my car. So it's like you even go buy a pothole,
Just
you're gonna
done.
pimple on the car.
One thing I'd change about our city, I probably put more bike lanes in. I think.
I like that idea, because I live by John Carroll. And it's like they had a few, and people would use them all the time. And then you try driving in Beechwood or Shaker
Oh,
Heights,
you're dead.
Yep.
and you got people just hogging up the left lane.
Yeah.
Put the bike
I was
lanes
riding
in.
this morning.
Put the bike lanes in, bib. Put them in.
And he started to do it, but like the towpath is fine, but you can't road bike the towpath, right? And you're not riding your mountain bike to school, to work. We have all this natural beauty that you could definitely do it, and we just refuse to just put bike lanes in. We like much more of a car culture, which is fine, but it'd be nice. Like I only live 50. Mentor seems like it's really far away, but it's only 15 miles away from Cleveland. Like I could bike it every day if I wanted to. And honestly, like there's a whole lake there. You could probably put like a bridge over the lake, and I could bike from there. But no, of course not.
Yeah, I rode from downtown to your house in University
Oh yeah,
Heights. That's 15. That's fine.
it's not bad at all.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not a bad ride at all.
Mhm.
Take less than a couple hours.
Well, Andrew, this has been such a pleasure, man. Appreciate you making the trek down here, having the conversation. Hopefully, we can have you on for a part 2, talk more about our Bitcoin theories, and hopefully we don't have.
Do we have a final prediction on the price at the end of 2025?
He said
Yeah, we
70
did.
We already did it earlier.
75.
I
Mhm.
said between 120 and 150. I'm
Yeah, so
long on
the only way we're
Bitcoin,
getting to 75 is if we go to 150 first.
and I'll be out.
Never out.
It's interesting. The reason it boosted to 100 was because JP went in and Jamie Dimon said Bitcoin was awesome. I just don't know what's going to boost it. Like, who else can come in? Like, I guess Iran could be like, hey, we invented Bitcoin and it gets screwed up or something. Like, they could do something like that. But
Musk is going to dabble somehow and intertwine. He's going to get involved in the crypto space here. I mean, he's already
Well,
doing
Tesla-
the Doge stuff. He's
Tesla
already,
owns a shit ton of Bitcoin.
well, he's all about Doge. It's like he's going to try and troll people in some way. I mean, I don't know.
Doge.
But,
I hated that.
yeah, man. Appreciate it.
This is good.
Yep.
Awesome.
Great. Thank you, guys.